Okay, so today's topic, we're going to be talking about Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe made a complete fool of himself at last night's game when the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Memphis Grizzlies, which, by the way, they beat them by 1 point in a meaningless game, in a meaningless month where everyone is pretty much holding back and saving some of their special sauce for the All-Star game. And at the end of the day, this game is not going to affect the outlook of both of these teams. The Memphis Grizzlies are still a heavy contender who's going to be representing the Western Conference, one of the teams that possibly is going to represent for the West. And the Los Angeles Lakers are the Los Angeles Lakers. If you look at their record, if you look at their standings, if you look at what they have on the floor, it's just not enough there to even make the play-in tournament. That's how bad life is for the Los Angeles Lakers. Los Angeles Lakers, who have the highest payroll, okay, one of the highest payrolls in the NBA. And you look at their standings, and if you look at the names on the back of the jerseys, you got LeBron James, who's a Hall of Famer. You got Russell Westbrook, who's going to be a Hall of Famer. You got Anthony Davis, who possibly could become a Hall of Famer. Who won a championship. Los Angeles, LeBron has won multiple championships. Russell Westbrook has been in the mix one time as far as winning a championship. But if you look at the accolades of these players, if you look at the payroll, it does not equate to the Los Angeles Lakers having a winning record thus far. Now, this is a long season. Anything can happen, but I'm definitely going to tell you guys, if you're a Los Angeles Lakers fan, if you're a LeBron James fan, I don't see them turning this around. But anywho, Darvin Ham is doing an amazing job with the Los Angeles Lakers with what little he has. All right. So basically, last night game, the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Memphis Grizzlies, and you can see Shannon Sharpe jawing at John Morant's father. Steven Adams was present. He was jawing at him as well. And Shannon Sharpe talking about, everyone's talking about on social media, Shannon Sharpe wanted it all to smoke. He wanted all the smoke so much, he was moonwalking away from having an altercation, definitely having an altercation with Steven Adams. I'm not saying that John Morant's father strike the fear in God in Shannon Sharpe, but Shannon Sharpe does not want to be in an altercation with him because he's going to lose the most. Now, I remember a couple of weeks back, and before I go into my spew, before I get on my soapbox, I remember a couple of weeks back when Skip Bayless did that controversial tweet, which I still to this day think is insensitive, talking more about the game, or had really no F's given about the player who was injured, who had a cardiac arrest on the football field, and how you had all the people in the rush of judgment on social media bombasting Skip Bayless. And I told you guys in several videos, at the end of the day, you could peel the layers of whatever form of entertainment you like. At the end of the day, it's about who you like and who you can't stand. Because those that you like, you put up with their antics, you put up with their behavior, and you make excuses for them. But those that you can't stand, that you can't tolerate, if they are in the news for any type of negativity, no matter how small or big it is, you're going to bombast that person and say, well, see, that's why I don't like him, because of X, Y, and Z. Shannon Sharpe a couple of weeks ago talked about how he skipped Tuesday morning show when that happened because he said, quote unquote, he didn't want to be part of the story. He didn't want Skip Bayless' tweet to be part of the story. The story should be about this young man having a cardiac arrest on the field. And then he got on his high moral soapbox talking about we need to be more concerned about the athletes. It's more than just a game, yada, 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 yada. Which, by the way, everyone was going after, and justifiably so, going after Skip Bayless. I feel like people were going too heavy at Skip Bayless But in the meantime and in between times, I hear nobody talking about what the comments of Bart Scott said about that particular night. And Bart Scott is not being scathed on social media. They're not even dragging Bart Scott. Still to this day, people are still dragging Skip Bayless, by the way. But Shannon Sharpe got on his high moral box talking about this, that, and the other, the integrity of the game. These players we should be more concerned about these players. It's just a game, right? That was the logic of Shannon Sharpe. It's just a game. Fast forward into today, in a meaningless basketball game that's not going to change the outlook or the future of both teams. At the end of the day, both teams are going to be exactly where they're heading to. The Memphis Grizzlies have a possibility to represent the West in the NBA final. And the Los Angeles Lakers, which they have done a lot of good things under Darvin Ham's watch, still not enough for them to even, still to this day, people are having concerns for them. Are the Los Angeles Lakers going to even make it into the play-in tournament? Not the playoffs, just the play-in tournament. A meaningless game in a meaningless month where everyone's pulling back a little bit, getting ready for the All-Star break. Shannon Sharpe pulls this stunt on a Friday night, and this game has nothing to do or affects the outlook of how we judge these teams and how we judge these players as of today. Not their career, but as of today. LeBron James still can't carry a team by his lonesome, put a team on his back, and get this team into the postseason. Those days are long gone. Anthony Davis has been consistently injured. And Russell Westbrook is just Russell Westbrook. I mean, Russell Westbrook's talent got him as far as being the sixth man. He's going to get some six-man recommendations. But just remember and keep this in mind. The coach that they fired last year was trying to get Russell Westbrook into the six-man position, and Russell Westbrook refused. And that coach didn't even have the backing of the other players, of a LeBron James, of a Anthony Davis. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. So Shannon Sharpe makes a complete fool of himself, and we're not even talking about the game no more. We're not even talking about the teams thus far, what you see in these teams thus far. All we're talking about is Shannon Sharpe making a complete fool of himself courtside, jawing at Steven Adams and John Morant's father. I think his name is Tee. I forgot. I do apologize. You guys know I butcher names on a consistent basis. Pretty much trying to irritate the fans of Memphis. Which, by the way, if this was a regular fan, and if this regular fan just says, "I hate you," a NBA player can stop the game and say to the referee, "Put that fan out. I feel threatened." If an NBA fan accidentally breathes on any of these NBA players, they'll be escorted immediately off the premises and not be allowed to come back into future games. But since this is Shannon Sharpe, which, by the way, he was not working, he was just a fan, he was a paying fan like everyone else was there. Particularly in this climate of, if you just look at a player wrong, you're going to get bounced off the court. You're going to be exit stage left, and you won't be able to see the rest of the game unless you want to listen to it at your leisure in your car or at home. But Shannon Sharpe, since he's a big let's peel it back a little bit. He's a big pom-pom cheerleader of LeBron James. He's a fair weather fan of the Los Angeles Lakers. wherever LeBron James goes, whoever he plays for, Shannon Sharpe is going to follow him hook, line, and sinker. He's the shadow. He's LeBron James' shadow, pretty much. And this is the same guy that would tell players, don't pay attention to social media. Don't agree with everybody on social media. Because if you start agreeing with people on social media, you're going to find yourself out of a job and on social media. This is the same guy that made that same comment to several athletes that were heavy into social media. Shannon Sharpe is a character of himself. He's more known as Unc than Shannon Sharpe, and I feel like that demotes and demises Shannon Sharpe's reputation. Which, by the way, give you guys a quick rundown on. Shannon Sharpe, back in the day when he was on CBS Sports doing Sunday morning football, he was the top dog until that incident with him and this lady. This lady accused Shannon Sharpe of some unwanted behavior, let's put it that way. And Shannon Sharpe had to leave CBS Sports, and he's been bouncing around. He's been on Twitch. A lot of people don't realize this, that it gotten so bad for Shannon Sharpe, he had to make a Twitch account and talk about the games, the football games. Shannon Sharpe is heavily knowledgeable about NFL football. Shannon Sharpe's career, just his career alone, would justify any sports media network outlet to hire him. Shannon Sharpe, and I still do believe this, if Shannon Sharpe becomes a free agent, there's going to be a ton of networks that will pay Shannon Sharpe whatever he wants and give him his own show. That's how high demand Shannon Sharpe is. But those networks are looking at Shannon Sharpe from the standpoint of his playing days, his media career, and they're looking at that more so than his antics on social media. Your antics on social media is not going to get you any closer to the bag. Your antics on tonight's game is not going to get you any closer to the bag. I still feel like to this day, Shannon Sharpe is a top 5 media personality that deserves his own show. But these antics are proven, as well as what he's been doing on social media. This proves without a shadow of a doubt. I don't care what you guys think of me, but this proves without a shadow of a doubt why Shannon Sharpe doesn't sign a long-term extension with Fox Sports 1. This contract that he's currently on was expired over the summer. Here we are, mid-January, a new year, and still to this day, no word on any type of contract or long-term contract that Fox Sports 1 is giving to Shannon Sharpe. And this is the same network that has been purged of their more popular, talented entities, individuals. They no longer have Troy Aikman. They no longer have Joe Buck. Those guys are exclusively to ESPN. Now ESPN is purging all the good talent from Fox Sports 1, what Fox Sports 1 did to ESPN 3 or 4 years ago, where they purged and got Chris Bouchard, Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless. The list goes on and on and on. Fox Sports 1 was purging talent from ESPN, left to right, right to left. And now, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. Now ESPN is on a high note. They have popular shows. They're in more markets, like I've been telling you guys for the past couple of years. Even when Fox Sports 1 was at their high point, when they was purging talent, when Undisputed first premiered, and it was the top show for that 1 week. 1 week. And I told you guys, everyone started jumping on, Fox Sports 1 started jumping on Undisputed is the first take killer. I told you guys, back then, what I'm going to tell you right now, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if Fox Sports Undisputed is the top dog, and they're going back and forth ratings-wise with First Take. At the end of the day, First Take is still in more, ESPN is still in more households than Fox Sports 1. Still to this day. Folks, that was almost 7 years ago, and still nothing has changed. Folks, Fox Sports 1 could be bought out, could be sold to ESPN. That's how big ESPN is as a network, which, by the way, Disney owns ESPN, ABC. Disney owns anything that prints money, okay? And they would, even though Fox Sports 1 doesn't necessarily print money, but for them possibly buying Fox Sports 1, which I'm going to do a video about that a little bit later, if you guys want me to do a video on that. The only reason why they would purchase Fox Sports 1 is to eliminate what little competition ESPN has. Because right now, ESPN has no competition whatsoever. Fox Sports 1 is pretty much, their own enemy. Okay, the Carson show is a huge flop. Undisputed has had ups and downs. Colin Cowherd is still to this day trying to say something so controversial where people start coming in and tuning in what he has said. First things first, which is, it started in the morning, now it's an afternoon show, is doing some good things. I think this whole new fall schedule that they have, I feel like it was very beneficial for First Things First. I think the show that's formerly known as Speak for Yourself, now known as Speak, I think is heading to its demise. I feel like Fox Sports 1 needs a couple of new shows, and if they re-sign Shannon Sharpe, it would not surprise me if they give Shannon Sharpe his own show premiering on Fox Sports 1. Skip is going to probably find another debate partner. I think Acho would fit perfectly in that slot because he makes some outrageous takes and claims, i.e. Will Kane. Remember when Will Kane was on ESPN? Now he's working for Fox News. I feel like Will Kane is stronger doing stuff like that than sports takes, but that's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, this is not a good look for Shannon Sharpe. Now, I'm pretty sure he's on social media right now apologizing, and he's embarrassed of his behavior. Okay? And I'm pretty sure they're not even going to mention it on Monday morning show, which, is Skip Bayless going to be the immature child and not do the show like what Shannon Sharpe did when Skip Bayless was on social media for all the wrong reasons? Even though I'm not co-signing to what's did I say Stephen A. Smith? Skip Bayless. Even though I'm not co-signing Skip Bayless's tweet, I think it was insensitive. It was the wrong thing to tweet about. But at the end of the day, I felt like people were sandbagging and putting way too much on this. And I feel like the other media personalities out there, like Jason Williams, Jay Williams, and Jalen Rose, I feel like these guys are going to flourish when it's their time to re-up. Seriously, I think ESPN is going to pay personalities like that the real top money. I feel like the shock jocks, the shock effect, I'm going to say something controversial or do something controversial or tweet something controversial, like the JJ Reddicks of the world, the Shannon Sharpes of the world, the Skip Bayless of the world. They're going to get a reality check. They're going to find out real fast and real quick that quick outtakes is not going to preserve your career long. You're not going to have longevity in this business if all you do is do shows and try to get the shock jock effect and get your viewers upset or mad at you and have them talk when you're not even talking about the breaking news of sports entertainment. You're more concerned and you're talking about what you have said, what you have tweeted on social media, or you being on social media. That's the bigger thing than the game itself. That's more bigger than any individual that's playing on the field and on the court. And that's the whole point of this video. Shannon, you can't say one thing and do something completely different. You're being a walking, talking hypocrite right now, Shannon Sharpe. You should be embarrassed by yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I feel like we're talking more about this altercation, and this is gonna really blow. This is gonna blow up for Shannon Sharpe on social media. Little antics like this, he's gonna gain a ton of followers. He already has a ton of followers on social media. But at the end of the day, it's not getting him any closer to the bag. This incident is not getting him any closer to the bag or getting his own show. I feel like hard work. I feel like it's being entertaining and informative at the same time on television, on cable and satellite television, not YouTube, not social media. You know, the people that pay the people that pay subscriptions and pay cable bills, satellite bills, and things of that nature, that's your audience. That's your lane. You have to justify to that audience why you feel like you deserve Skip Bayless's type of money, why you feel like you deserve Stephen A. Smith type of money. I believe he does. I believe he does deserve that money. But antics like this, when you're trying to cater to social media, is not going to get you any closer to the bag. And it's going to give one in many excuses why they're not even going to give you the bag. And I have a theory on why he's not pushing this. He's not applying a lot of pressure to this. Because low-key, Shannon Sharpe wants to stay on Fox Sports 1. Because he knows if he goes anywhere else, he's going to have to tone back the behavior and the antics on social media. NBC does not want anything like that. Now, they like to have Shannon Sharpe. It will improve NBC sports dramatically. But they don't want the antics, the unk and the black and miles and the gold mask. They don't, maybe the gold mask, but they don't want those type of antics muddying up what NBC has, which, by the way, I feel like NBC is in no competition with Fox Sports 1 or ESPN. If he goes to ESPN, he's definitely going to have to tone down his behavior. He's going to definitely have to tone down the antics. I feel like some antics are inbounds, other antics are out of bounds. And ESPN wants to cater to the family-friendly audience, all right? So none of that, what you heard on TikTok and Snapchat and Twitter, you're not going to get away. You're not going to get away with that much longer. Eventually, you're going to have to stick to a script. You're going to have to stick to prep work. You're going to have to stick to what the story is about. I feel like Shannon Sharpe can do that. He's very informative and very entertaining. I'm not taking that away from Shannon Sharpe, but Shannon Sharpe, this does not make you look good as far as getting the bag. It makes you look great on social media. If that's the audience you're trying to entertain, you successfully done that. But people who pay subscription fees, people who pay cable and satellite fees, people who pay for satellite radio, this does not transcend or make them continue to buy those feed subscription programs month after month. This does not help your cause. And the Fox Sports 1 is going to say, well, yeah, he's a big draw. Yeah, a lot of people like him on social media. But how is that putting money in our pockets at the end of the day? Love to have him, but we're not going to have him for the type of money he's asking for. So that's all I got for today's video. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be in the comment section going this, that, and the third. I'm a hater. I'm this. I don't know what I'm talking about. I like when people say that I don't know what I'm talking about, but they don't clarify what they feel I don't know what I'm talking about. But that's neither here nor there. That's fine. Y'all hit the comment section, flood it up. But the argument is still true. This particular antic, this tomfoolery, is not getting him any closer to the bag. And nobody can justify that saying so. Now, it's very entertaining on social media. I thought it was entertaining on social media. But sometimes you got to grow out of things, okay? Sometimes, in some situations, you're going to have to be the bigger man in the room. You're going to have to act your age, not your shoe size. And Shannon Sharpe, I mean, he's 50 years old, all right? And he's acting like a school kid. But I guarantee, is not even going to be mentioned on Undisputed Monday Morning unless Shannon Sharpe brings it up. You know, maybe Skip and Shannon will joke about it and then move on. And I'm pretty sure Shannon Sharpe is going to, when he finally settles down and talk about last night's game, how this ultimately going to make the Lakers better. They still have a multitude of games. They still have a second half of this season. The first half, they left on a whimper. I mean, they have been winning games. Let's give them credit where credit is due. Darvin Ham has done a little with what talent he has with the Los Angeles Lakers. I feel like if the Los Angeles Lakers had a winning record, Darvin Ham would be coach of the year because he's doing extraordinary things on what little he has. All right. Yeah, he has LeBron James, but LeBron James can no longer carry a team no more. That's what people seem to forget. He does have Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis has been consistently an injury-prone player. He's not dependable for playing a full season, 90% of the season, 80% of the season. This guy can't even play 75% of the season. That's how injury-prone this guy is. You cannot guarantee that. And you got a Russell Westbrook, which, by the way, is welcoming his role as coming off the bench and being sixth man. He's a possible candidate of being sixth man of the year. The former coach was recommending that, and Russell Westbrook took heed to that. He didn't like that. But let's look at it for what it is. You got a sixth man that you're paying like a starter. And when you put him on the court starting, he does not benefit the team. He's an ISO player that desperately seeking Susan the ball. That's things you should have been concerned about when you orchestrated that trade. The Washington Wizards are laughing at the Los Angeles Lakers. Oh, y'all going to give us that? Y'all going to give us this for that? Okay, we're cool with that. We're fine. The moment that Russell Westbrook landed with the Los Angeles Lakers, he was already in trade talks. But this is the guy Anthony Davis and LeBron James was co-signing to. And now all of a sudden, they are having doubts and concerns about Russell Westbrook. They're not co-signing with Russell Westbrook. And now all of a sudden, he's being placed as the responsibility of management. Well, or Jeannie Buss. Well, they the ones who did the trade. It wasn't us, but you recommended the trade. You wanted this trade. And now you want to wipe your hands from this trade and blame Jeannie Buss, blame Rob Pelinka, blame the Lakers management. Well, they don't know what they're doing. Look, they traded Russell Westbrook. Yeah, because you wanted Russell Westbrook. They're trying to make you happy so you can sign a contract. Anyway, This is all I got. I will talk to you guys later. Deuces.